Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 traits high quality feminine queens shouldn't have. So the first one is, being shady and mean. You know, you shouldn't have that trait. We need to be kind and caring and encouraging. Throwing indirect digs and shade, it doesn't look good. It's not a good trait. And you need to know how to communicate with somebody you're concerned with. If there's any concern or issues, you should communicate to the person. You should, talk to God. What is your frustration? Talk to God. You could talk to God about anything. And it helps you. It helps when you journal. It helps when you, talk to a counselor or therapist about certain issues that you're just concerned about. And throwing indirect digs and shade, you might think that you're in a right, but you're not. And you might be surrounded by people that are yes people. They're probably scared to say anything because they know you're gonna act wild and shout, but it's not a good trait. It's a nasty trait, and people might be scared to say anything to you, but God wants you to know that being shady and throwing digs and making people feel scared. It's not a good trait. You might feel like you have the power, but you seem very insecure. Is an insecure trait, and you know being mean and cruel. You might feel like that's the only way you can control somebody and have someone under your spell. But that's witchcraft. It's manipulative, and it's not a good trait to have. It's so important to communicate properly, and to, you know, be honest and be authentic. Indirect shade and digs doesn't get anywhere. People walk away from you. They realize that you're toxic, that you can't communicate properly, and they don't want to be part of that. They might come and once and they might come around you once and realize that you have these horrible traits. And if you're wondering why people walk away and you're not really making much friends, or you're people are not sticking around and people are walking away, maybe it's because you have a horrible attitude, and people around you are too fearful to say anything. But you should know deep down in your heart that God doesn't like that attitude. The second one is being controlling. You can't control somebody's life. You can't really control somebody and think it's okay. Everyone's their own person. People have a right to be independent and to have their own choices and make their own choices and think for themselves. Trying to control someone's life is not godly. It's not high quality. Everyone has a right to have a choice and to say yes or no. If someone says no to you, you don't go around throwing shade and digs. You don't go around making someone else feel uncomfortable and, being passive aggressive, the silent treatment, punishing people. It's not a good trait. It's not a good trait, and we need to let go of the controlling thing, trying to control people's finances, trying to control people's life, trying to control people how they think, and it's cult material. It's like cult like, and it's not a good trait. And when it comes to mentoring and coaching, we have to realize if we're trying to control people or we're trying to mentor and coach people, and no, we got to know the difference. So it's so important not to try to control people's lives. And the third one is, being jealous and a bully. You know, being envious and insecure. Sometimes it's normal, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be like normalized. You need to cast it down. You need to realize where it's coming from, because especially if you're surrounded by people that are yes people, and they don't hold you accountable and they're scared of you, um, they're not gonna say anything. But you look insecure. You look weak. You're copying people, and someone launches a business, or they done something major, and you're just not saying anything. You look like a hater. You look jealous. You look insecure. You look intimidated. You look egotistic, and you might feel like you could you might feel like you have to humble somebody by putting them down and ignoring them and downplaying their achievements, but you look weak, you look insecure, you look really insecure, you look really you look like a hater. You might feel like you might feel inferior, you might feel like this will this will humble the person. But if the person's high quality, they're going to realize you're a hater. They're going to realize that you're just jealous, and they're going to set boundaries. They're going to distance themselves away from you and realize that you're a hater. Not everyone's insecure and has low self-esteem. They're not going to take it. Some people will take it personally. You might get away with it, but a high quality woman will realize that you're a hater and you're insecure. So the fourth one is, copying and stealing credit. It is a good feeling, getting credit. We want to feel like we achieved something, but you shouldn't be so desperate to the point that you're copying people. Be original, be yourself. Just embrace being yourself. And if you're struggling to know who you are, talk to God about your identity. Talk to God about who you are as a woman and what you bring to the table. We're all different, we're all unique, we all have different, passions and purpose. So it's so important to not copy and steal and take credit, because we all have different. We all bring different. We all bring something different to the table, and we shouldn't be so concerned about what other people are doing, and we just focus on what God has called us to do. And the fifth one is, which is the last one, is manipulative tactics. Playing all these mind games. Leaving someone confused. You don't give them a straight answer. You leave them feeling confused. You leave them just second guessing themselves, and they're just not sure what's going on. And you left them confused, and now they don't know what's going on, and all these mind games and these controlling tactics, this witchcraft. You can't. It's not a good trait at all. It's not a good trait at all. People give people a straight answer. Give people a straight answer. Don't play all these this witchcraft game and playing all these games. It's not a good trait. It really isn't. Trying to manipulate somebody. Everyone has free will. Let people do what they want. All these games. It's not of God. It's not good. It's not good quality. So if you need any counselling or coaching or prayer request or anything else, email me. Thank you for listening. Bye.